Hi guys, welcome to another video. This video will be a kind of background video lesson to help you with your success here at the college. It's important for all students to discuss the concept of academic integrity. Maybe you've watched the video already that I provided from the internet, which shows various aspects of academic integrity, giving you careful definitions and some helpful words to understand the concept and the actions that are involved in academic integrity. Right now, I'm going to talk through some of the aspects of academic integrity as Red River College likes to discuss them, and I'll also give you my own understanding with some extra definitions and knowledge that might be helpful. Let's look at the documents from the college and also a document that I'll provide for you that can be helpful. Okay, we want to start to look at the documents that I mentioned before. This is the Red River College document for academic integrity. So you'll see the title here, Academic Integrity, and this document is available to all students, also available to everyone online around the world. I will also put it on your Learn system. Let's start to look at the parts. At the beginning we have number 1, preamble. Do you know this word preamble? It means an introduction section where we talk about background information before we get to the main topic. Now, it starts out with a very powerful sentence, I guess. Academic integrity is critical in a learning environment and a fundamental core value. That's just trying to say academic integrity will be very important all the time in your life and work at the college. Here we come to a very important word, evaluation. You might have different feelings about it, but in a school we always do tests, exams, and assessments, and the word evaluation is connected to that. Now, it's very important what it says here about evaluation. Evaluation must be representative of the knowledge and skill level achieved by a learner. Now, this is a key thing. When we test and we check your knowledge and your skill, we want to know that it's your knowledge and your skill, not your grandfather or your brother or your girlfriend, but we are testing and checking your knowledge. That's a key thing that comes through all of these discussions. Also, Red River College has a duty to maintain a high standard of academic integrity. It's a nice sentence. It really puts it in a strong way, and we want to of course say it in the simple, practical way that if we keep a high standard in the college, we know that the college will be respected and appreciated by employers, by many people in the community, by many experts. So that's an important thing. Now, as we move down, we see here, students will behave in a manner consistent with the fundamental values. So this is now putting it in your situation. You will behave, you will do things that follow the fundamental values of academic integrity. Now, even now you might still be saying, Michael, what is the word integrity? What does it mean? Maybe we would compare it to another use of the word. If you have a building and an engineer checks the building, he may say, this building has integrity or good integrity. And it can mean the building is strong. So you say, what do you mean, Michael? We need to be strong as students? Yes, that's true, but also we use the word integrity for that building to mean that all the parts of the building work correctly. And it's the same for you as a student. You need to be working correctly in all the areas of your work here. So we start to also use the word honesty We want all students to be honest. And you might say immediately, but Michael, I am honest. Don't worry about me. I'm always honest. I always tell the truth. And that's fantastic. That's a good start, and we appreciate it, and we always want to have those kind of people here. And now let's look at page 2. We do have some definitions. They're all a little bit technical, but we do want to notice them maybe if you need to work on that a little. Then we move down to two very important concepts: plagiarism and cheating. Now, maybe I'd like to just jump to the bottom one, cheating first. Every country uses this word. I'm sure in your language you have one word or maybe many words to talk about cheating. And it should be simple for all of us. We talk about it, we joke about it, and maybe you've had some important experiences in your life about cheating. Of course, if you are, for example, playing a friendly game of cards with your friend in the cafe, and your friend puts one card inside his pocket so that he can do a trick in the game and he can win the game, maybe you get very angry and say, "You are cheating. You are cheating on this game." Or also we think of the school situations where a student is writing his exam, but he is looking at his neighbor's paper. And maybe other students around him will quickly say, "That student is cheating." Or even the teacher will stand up and say, maybe a student's name, "Susan, you are cheating, and now you will be sent away from the exam. You will fail the exam." This is all very familiar for us. You'll see the definition here maybe can be a little bit confusing. The use or distribution or the attempted use or distribution of unauthorized materials. This is a key thing here. Unauthorized materials. Equipment, information, or study aids. Now, when the student cheats in the exam, he takes information from his friend's paper, he is using unauthorized materials. That's a key thing to notice. Then if we jump up here to the word plagiarism, some of you know this word as well. If you need to check a dictionary to see your country's language, that would be great, just to double check the meanings from your culture, from your language. But let's just look at the definition quickly. We represent the words, ideas, research, or data created by or belonging to someone else. This is the key word, the key words here, someone else. I'm using something that belongs to someone else. And we can see many, many situations of that in the world. Sometimes a newspaper writer will take some words or information from another newspaper, and he makes money from that and then gets himself in trouble. Also, we've had many cases of students in this school taking some words or ideas from some book, movie, or website, and then using it to make their own homework assignment in an incorrect way. Now, it's very interesting you have these two key things, words and ideas. It's very important to notice those two, because sometimes we can steal words from a book, website. Sometimes we can steal ideas. This is the most difficult part with ideas, because ideas can come from everywhere. Sometimes we get ideas from our friend, uncle, grandfather, boss. And maybe you have a friend who knows how to fix cars, so he has knowledge about cars, and you got a lot of knowledge from him. And then later, if you write those things into a school assignment, it probably will not cause trouble, but we always have to be careful and aware of where our ideas are coming from. What book, what website, what movie, what speech, what presentation, so that everyone can give appropriate credit to the creator of the ideas. Okay, let's start to look at my document. I like to give this extra document to give some extra explanation of plagiarism. First of all, it says, it is very important that students at the LTC understand the basic rules of plagiarism. These rules cause a lot of frustration for many ESL students. The basic concept is, You must not copy from books or from the internet to do your college or university assignments. Now that strong statement is a good start, but you'll also need a more thorough explanation. So let's look down here, the next paragraph. To understand the concept of plagiarism, we must understand first that many countries around the world have special rules for copying information, pictures, and the design of products. It says these countries have strict rules written into law. Now, maybe we could say a little extra here that some countries might not have these things written into the law books, but in that country, there can still be a system where someone can be punished if he copies something. For example, if I make a factory and I want to make maybe a washing machine in my factory, so I go to another factory to visit them and I decide, oh, I love the design of the other factory, so I decide to copy that design to make my own washing machine. After some time, there might be a knock at my door. There will be some big men at the door and they will say, you must not copy our design. If you continue to copy it, we will break your legs. So that could be very serious, and you can see how that kind of system is also trying to protect the design of products or the design or the use of ideas. So here in the middle, if an idea is stolen and used by someone to make money or get advantages for himself, the police and the courts can become involved. However, some of this kind of stealing is also regulated by universities, colleges, and other academic institutions. These institutions have developed special rules which the students and professors must follow in order to exchange information and develop new ideas without confusion or stealing. So let's look at the central principle. If you copy some kind of information, picture, or design of an object to gain money or advantages for yourself, you might be breaking one of these rules. Now, we're going to come down here a bit, and I decided to add one extra word. The college document talked about plagiarism. I am also going to add piracy. Two P words, not potato and picnic. We're talking about piracy and plagiarism. What is piracy? The copying of CDs, DVDs, VCDs, LPs, LDs, so many others. These are now becoming a little bit old. We still have a lot of DVDs on the market, but they are also disappearing. And so we may even add in here MP3s, because sometimes the copying of MP3s is a kind of stealing. Now, you might have different opinions about that. That's okay. And we have to realize there are different situations in the world. But if we look here, there's more computer files, trademarks, logos on products, works of art, copyrighted pictures, books, movies, television programs, patented machines and objects, or printed music. That's a lot of ways that people can steal. And we have to say carefully that there will be some student or person who says, you can copy many things, Michael, but if you sell it, then you are going to make some trouble. But actually, the law does not say that. The law does not say that copying is only illegal if you sell the copies. For example, if a rich person wanted to give away 100 copies of Windows 10, but he did not want the money from that, this would still be called piracy. That person is still receiving personal advantage from the copying. The law does make exceptions for individuals who want to record television programs or make some recordings and copies for their own use. This generally comes under the principle of fair use in Canadian law. The rule in Canadian law is that copying must not harm prejudicially any individual or organization. So I hope you're thinking carefully. Maybe you will copy something in your life for some purpose, but just think carefully, is it causing some harm to another person or an organization? So I have my strict definition of plagiarism here. Again, it's almost the same as the college. the stealing of ideas or words from any book, magazine, journal, website, movie, television program, video or audio recording, public speech, or presentation. You cannot copy the words, you cannot copy the ideas, which would be considered special or distinctive words or ideas, or even a string or sequence of words or ideas, which would be considered a special or distinctive string or sequence. I have some strange words there in how I explain it, and we'll be talking more about what it means and exactly how we can avoid stealing. But I hope that that's a good start. You have to realize that all these things are included, from websites, movies, and TV programs. But especially we are worried in the school at the LTC about copying from books, magazines, or journals, because many students are very tempted. Of course, their English still has trouble, so they just want to copy from a very nice book which has beautiful English in it. And so we respect your feelings about that, but we have to tell you to be very careful, and that we are watching and we are checking for all of your assignments, all of your assessments, and we want to see that you are being very careful not to copy. And if you do copy something, there will be some special rules for how to copy it and how to give special reference to that book or website or whatever it is. So just taking the first step into the deeper parts of this, we just have to say the rules for plagiarism do not apply to basic ideas. For example, if a student writes that John A. Macdonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada, or that sodium and chlorine make salt, he does not need to give reference to those facts. By the same token, plagiarism rules do not apply to basic words. So I give a couple of examples here of taking basic friendly words from a book, and sometimes we think those words are just simple friendly knowledge that everyone has, and that's something to consider. We will be considering that as well. Sometimes we take information from books which is very simple, but there's still a way that we can give careful reference to those books or websites, and we can cut the words and change the words so that no one will think that we are stealing, and we will not be stealing. And so we want you to start to consider that very carefully. Of course, you know about cheating. You know that it can have serious consequences for your life, and we don't want to see anyone in this program doing any cheating ever. And so we want to just remind you carefully and in the best friendly way we can to please be careful not to cheat on any assignment or test, and especially we're thinking of the online learning. You should not be giving any of your online work or assessments to any other person to do for you. Do the work yourself, do it carefully, and also follow the instructions for that work. Thanks for listening, and good success in all your work and all your assessments, and in your relationships too in the classroom.